Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Redwood Coast Studio. I'm here with my good friend Bruce Rhodes, who I've known for about 20 years, a major cultural fixture here in Sonoma County. We're at the Arlene Francis Center in Railroad Square, downtown Santa Rosa, and we're going to talk about a lot of things today, but mainly and most importantly, Bruce's amazing charity that he's been doing for how long you been doing this now?
Close to 20 years also.
Yeah, it's called Drums for Solar, and I'm going to let him do most of the talking about it, but it's one of the most effective things that I've known about in a long time, and Bruce has worked really hard on it. Tell us a little bit about Drums for Solar, please.
Well, our mantra is drums for solar. And basically, the reason for the drum is a tool that all human beings use to bring people together in a common rhythm. So the drum is bringing human beings together in a common rhythm under the sun. Our main purpose is to bring solar sustainable technology to villages in Mali, West Africa.
Okay. And are these villages off the grid? Do they have electricity right now? Or are you just trying to supplement what they already have?
These villages have absolutely no electricity, no grid power.
Okay, so when you bring solar panels, it's drastically changing. Do they appreciate it, I assume?
It brings them into the modern world because now with internet, if you have a little electricity, you can do a lot.
Okay, so these are villages that have never had any electricity in their village.
Ever, thousands and thousands of years.
Okay, that's amazing. Here at the Arlene Francis Center, you want to tell us a little bit about this? I know you've been working and helping to run this place for several years now. Where are we?
The Arlene Francis Center is at 99 6th Street, corner of Wilson and 6th Street, in the heart of downtown, the Railroad Square of Santa Rosa. Arlene Francis Center came after the closing of New College, which used to be a sustainable college in Sonoma County and in San Francisco. And instead of selling the building to a winery, Martin Hamilton and Peter Gable decided to turn it into a cultural community center. So a place where people can get together and have a voice.
Yeah, it's I've been to several events here, a lot of art showings, a lot of music, bands, charity fundraisers are held here. They serve food, they serve coffee, they serve tea. It truly is a cultural center and an arts center.
We've had everything from Jello Biafra with the Dead Kennedys here for a show, all the way to the 46th anniversary of the Black Panther Party.
I missed both of those. You got to keep me up to date, brother. You got to keep me up to date. I can't believe I missed both of those. Anyway, so we're gonna take a little walk in the back, and as we do, Sage, my awesome cameraman here, if you want to pan around and just show the viewers a little bit of the room, show them how comfortable it is here. I'm gonna keep talking though. What, Bruce? I know you've told me that there's a reason for the exchange of drums. Instead of just bringing the villagers the solar panels, you told me something last time we talked about why they give goods in exchange.
Well, I was in the village of Gimby, and I was telling the chief and the elders in the village about what Drums for Solar would be bringing to the village. And the chief said, you know, the sun's been drying up our wells, drying up our fields, killing our cattle, and now you tell me that God said I can get water from the ground using the sun. He said, Drums for Solar is for us.
Okay.
He said, yay, great, that's great. So let's do this. And he said, but there's one problem. We have no money. We have no way to pay for these solar panels. And for you to give me something without me giving you something in exchange is stealing from my spirit. So there has to be some sort of exchange. So to give somebody who doesn't have anything to return robs from their spirit and their culture and their sense of dignity.
I'm getting goosebumps, really.
Yeah. So the whole concept is there has to be an exchange. And I think one of the big problems in the world is there's a lot of charity in the world, but there's no exchange. People give and they feel good, but the person receiving isn't empowered. So they just turn into poor beggars who are always receiving aid.
Yeah.
And this is happening a lot in a lot of the developing world.
Yeah.
Where people are giving and they're not getting anything in exchange. So the problem in the village was they have nothing to give. They didn't have any drums because there's no wood or trees where they make crafts. They have very few things to share. So we came up with the concept of what they had to share was their gift of their sense of humanity and their spirituality and their relationship with the earth. So the story is for them to share their culture in exchange for sustainable modern technology.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I remember I've known about this charity for 15, 20 years since you started it, or I don't know. Did you start it?
I started, yes.
Yeah. And I never knew until a couple months ago, you explained to me the reason for the exchange was that belief in equality and something for something and nothing going, no one-way streets.
So it's people helping people, sharing our humanity.
One thing I neglected to mention at the beginning of this webcast is that this Sunday, December 16th, from 4 to 7, there is a big benefit that we're putting together to help raise money for more solar panels, more educational goods and tools. Yeah. And a lot of the work you do is in schools. Is that right?
Where we're basing our projects out of is from schools. So we're building out from schools. In the schools, we're building these things, we call them village empowerment zones, where people can go to the school to get knowledge and to share their culture. And it's part of the network spot.
Okay, cool. And so the benefit is this Sunday, December 16th at the Hopmonk Tavern in Sebastopol from 4 to 7. Is that correct?
4 to 7.
Okay.
With music by the great Afro pop band Zulu Spear,
who I've seen. They are fantastic. I mean, really fantastic. Highly skilled musicians. They will get you dancing.
It's a 10-piece Afro pop band.
Okay, 10-piece Afro pop band. I've seen them. It's infectious music, and you will definitely be dancing. And is there a price?
It's $20 at the door.
Okay.
Which is a donation, which most of it goes to Drums for Solar Projects.
Okay, so let's take a walk back, and we'll see actually some of the stuff that your $20 will be supporting and buying. This is real hard goods that are going to go to help and change people's lives and improve them. Okay. Okay. So Bruce, you want to lead us through the main theater here, the Arlene Francis Center? Okay.
The Arlene Francis Center is one of the oldest buildings in Sonoma County. It was built in 1870 as a Sperry flour mill.
Okay.
Had a little problem in 1906.
Did you say 1870?
1870.
This building is from 1870. It was an old flour mill. I've seen wonderful bands and music and dance and poetry performances here.
Oh, yeah. So this is a new incarnation of the flour.
And it's looking great, I must say. It really is. You got a lot of volunteers running this place?
We have a lot of on and off volunteers.
Okay, cool. It's looking great. They're doing a great job. So we're in the dimly lit warehouse here. Bruce, why don't you tell us a little bit and show us what you're bringing to the villages in Mali?
So what I've already received was wonderful donations. There's an organization, there's a company in Santa Rosa called North Coast Solar, and my good friend Hans Solkin had a donation of 35 solar panels, which we're shipping to Mali, and we're going to implement these 35 panels into 4 village empowerment zones. So the village that has absolutely no school will have solar at the school, and the solar at the school will be used for lights. It'll be used for running computers. We have a large donation here of computers.
Okay, let's come on over here. See the solar panels? I saw the batteries here. We are back in the warehouse, so excuse the mess, but this is a work in progress here. And what do we have here? If we could get a pan shot on this.
Last weekend, I just got back from Mali last night.
Okay.
And it was a long trip. Yeah. But being home is great. Last weekend, we had an environmental activism at a school, the Chihuahua School in Kati, Mali. And part of our environmental project was what I call the first step in the revolution in Africa is to bend down and pick up the paper. So what I had, the whole school, we all went out, the mayor of the town came, and we went out and cleaned this 10-hectare field. This large field where the kids play soccer all the time was littered with blowing trash and plastic bags, and the kids picked up all the trash. It was a phenomenal feat. And the kids had and learned the appreciation of cleaning up their space and their environment. So as part of one of our learning tools is environmental activism, is that each human being is responsible for their space and their existence in the space.
That's very good. And that really ties me into the last time I was here talking to you, proposing this interview. You got pretty fiery about the political situation in the world with immigration and migration in general. And you said some stuff that I was like, God, I wish I had a camera right now, because you were talking about how important it is and what a different mindset it is to make every spot on earth a beautiful place to live.
Well, every spot on earth is a beautiful place to live, and it's a home for somebody. And wherever your home is, if it's in Beverly Hills or if it's in Malibu or if it's in Hawaii, it's your paradise. So every place that a human being lives, in my opinion, is paradise. And every place where you live, especially in village life, it's where your culture is, your heredity, your whole existence is in your village. Your grandma, your uncle, your family's in the village.
Yeah.
So our concept with Drums for Solar is, how can you have human beings survive where they live? Right now, the big problem in the world is the immigrants are traveling and coming into your country and they're taking your jobs, which they're not. But it's hopelessness in the village. I've been traveling to these villages. There's no water. It's impossible to get food because you don't have water. Mm-hmm. And there's poor sanitation in the village. There's no income.
Yeah. And so they want to leave, of course.
So they want to leave. And young people feel hopeless, so they get up, and a guy shows up from the Mujahideen or Boko Haram, and he recruits them to join these terrorist organizations.
Yeah.
And they get a little money, and they send it back to the family.
Yep.
Or they can go to the big cities.
Yep.
And you go into the big cities, and you turn out and you end up standing on the corner begging, because it's hard to get jobs. There's very little work, very little employment in the countries, because they're poor countries.
Sure.
And underdeveloped countries.
Yeah.
So our dream with Drums for Solar is, how can you make it possible for these young people to survive in the villages where they are? And one of the main things is to start with education. We call it HICCUP. Health, education, income, and culture.
Okay. Yep.
So the things that you can survive on. So if you have your health, so we're bringing these things called solar suitcases to the clinic.
I saw those. Bruce was selling them and giving them out and getting donations for them at a lot of the festivals and fairs around Sonoma County this summer, and it seems like you successfully got rid of them all and shipped them all over.
Yeah. So solar suitcases for midwives. So you got a picture going into the clinic, and you're having a baby, and it's 11:30 at night and it's dark, and then the midwife has to hold a candle in one hand.
Yep.
While she's doing some serious,
medical procedure.
Yeah. Because there's no lights, there's no electricity.
Sure.
So with these solar suitcases, brings lights. It's just a little suitcase. It has a little solar panel, and it has enough power to have lights. It has a fetal Doppler. You can check the heartbeat.
Oh, I didn't even know about this.
Oh,
I was talking about something else.
It has a whole lot of different pieces that helps midwives to deliver babies. Or if there's like an accident or there's somebody's injured, it brings lights and electricity and
medical care.
Medical care.
Yeah. Okay. So
the health part.
Yeah.
And then other part is what we want to work on is, what can people do in the village for income? So many of the villages that we're working with in Mali, they have what they call shea nuts, shea seeds. And shea is a ointment that people use on their skin.
Yep.
It's getting really popular in the whole world actually right now.
I buy it at the Sebastopol farmers market from, is it Princess Aisha?
So what Drums for Solar is doing, we're trying to help villages develop their shea butter market so we can bring it and sell it at premium prices in the USA, so that's a form of income in the village.
Okay.
And then the educational part of the village is we're bringing solar panels to the schools, in the village schools. We're putting solar in the village schools. And then what we have is we have a great donation from the Santa Rosa Computer Recycle Center. Jay Barry, great guy. He donated approximately 100 solar computers with monitors and keyboards for us to ship over to Mali.
Okay, it's fantastic.
So we have computers, we have electricity now with solar. We have computers for kids to learn to be trained on computers.
Yep.
And we have a process. We're working with a company to bring internet into the village,
Okay.
which is kind of
Yeah, brand new.
brand new.
That's going to be life changing. The kits I was talking about when you were talking about the suitcases, I thought you were referring to something else I saw you at a lot of the festivals this summer with, which was the do-it-yourself solar kits to teach the kids how to. Do you want to describe that?
So one of the things, well, actually, this is actually in motion. I've been having the classes in Mali. I have a program in Mali at the Chihuahua School, which is like our pilot school. It's called I Can Build It, We Can Build It. And the reason for that is it's about motivating young people to have the confidence to know that they can do it themselves.
Okay.
And everything that you or your children in the USA or in China or anywhere in the world, anybody can get this information. I've been teaching this class on solar using a lot of YouTube videos.
Sure.
And a lot of things on YouTube, you don't need sound. You can just see it's like a hand,
Yeah.
it's a DIY.
Yeah, sure.
Yourself type of system.
And you said you had a little kit that was
So,
sort of.
There's an organization in Sebastopol, Thor Allen. He donated a couple of these solar schoolhouse kits. He runs a program called the Solar Schoolhouse.
Okay.
And he donated a bunch of kits. And with those kits, I've been teaching with my partner teacher. We've been teaching the kids about how solar works, how, to measure electricity. They've been learning about electricity. They've been learning about solar, learning about how the tracking the sun. And
Okay. So they're learning how to put a solar system together to be engineers.
Yeah.
And builders of the things that you're bringing and not just receiving them.
Yes, and they'll understand how solar works, and they'll be trained in how solar
and electricity.
And then from there, we will be branching out to water pumping, water irrigation.
That's my next question.
Permaculture projects, agricultural projects. Many villages, because there's lack of water, have agricultural complications, where modern technology and modern permaculture practices would be of great benefit to a lot of villages. So bringing the information and the tools to get the information to the people is part of what the empowerment hubs would be.
Yeah, brand new. That's going to be life changing. The kits I was talking about when you were talking about the suitcases, I thought you were referring to something else I saw you at a lot of the festivals this summer with, which was the do-it-yourself solar kits to teach the kids how to. Do you want to describe that?
So one of the things, well, actually, this is actually in motion. I've been having the classes in Mali. I have a program in Mali at the Chihuahua School, which is like our pilot school. It's called I Can Build It, We Can Build It. And the reason for that is it's about motivating young people to have the confidence to know that they can do it themselves.
Okay.
And everything that you or your children in the USA or in China or anywhere in the world, anybody can get this information. I've been teaching this class on solar using a lot of YouTube videos.
Sure.
And a lot of things on YouTube, you don't need sound. You can just see it's like a hand.
Yeah.
It's a DIY.
Yeah, sure.
Yourself type of system.
And you said you had a little kit that was sort of.
There's an organization in Sebastopol, Thor Allen. He donated a couple of these solar schoolhouse kits. He runs a program called the Solar Schoolhouse.
Okay.
And he donated a bunch of kits. And with those kits, I've been teaching with my partner teacher. We've been teaching the kids about how solar works, how, to measure electricity. They've been learning about electricity. They've been learning about solar, learning about how the tracking the sun. And
okay. So they're learning how to put a solar system together to be engineers.
Yeah.
And builders of the things that you're bringing and not just receiving them.
Yes, and they'll understand how solar works, and they'll be trained in how solar
and electricity.
And then from there, we will be branching out to water pumping, water irrigation.
That's my next question.
Permaculture projects, agricultural projects. Many villages, because there's lack of water, have agricultural complications, where modern technology and modern permaculture practices would be of great benefit to a lot of villages. So bringing the information and the tools to get the information to the people is part of what the empowerment hubs would be.
Okay. This is fantastic. Okay, that pretty much covers what I wanted to know more about today. Please join us, everybody. Please join us this Sunday, December 16th, 4 o'clock at the Hopmonk Tavern in Sebastopol for a wonderful band. There'll be food there.
No, you have crafts that I brought from Mali. This is called mudcloth. This is a heavy cotton.
Okay, these are gorgeous. These are gorgeous.
Pieces for sale. It would make great Christmas gifts, and it'd be great donations.
Okay, and these will all be available this Sunday, December 16th from 4 to 7 at the Hopmonk Tavern. Along with the band. What's the band's name again?
The band is called Zulu Spear.
I was just asking rhetorically. I know who it is because I've seen them because they're fantastic. But yeah, join us this Sunday. Do what you can. Give what you can. Bring as much money as you can to support this wonderful program. But even if you can't afford any extra, the $20 is well worth it. You'll get your groove on. You'll get your boogie on. It's a fantastic organization. It's a fantastic act. And hopefully we'll see you this Sunday afternoon, the 16th of December.
The 16th of December. And I will be having from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock a video presentation on my activities with Drums for Solar and what we're doing right now on the ground in Mali, West Africa. Okay, so come on out and learn more. And thank you for joining us here at Redwood Coast Studio. Please check us out online, on Facebook, on YouTube, redwoodcoaststudio.com, anywhere you can find us, and check out our past episodes and keep an eye out for ones in the future. Bruce, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric.